Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember to breathe while you speak, Alex. Remember to breathe. I don't know what it is. I have a hard time breathing when I'm talking. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today is a guide video, and today in this guide video we're talking about Pantheon. Oh, my name is Alex, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but if you didn't, that's my name. And why am I talking about Pantheon? Well, if you haven't watched my most recent video, I've been really enjoying Pantheon as like one of my picks that I pick because I don't have anything else to play, or if I don't really want to play Azir, I can't get enough of playing Pantheon. I just like the play style, I like his abilities, the way he works. It's really fun, and I hope that I can convey that in this guide, as well as also maybe show you some things you may have not known. So, what is Pantheon? What does it do? In general, Pantheon is mid lane, top lane pick, and sometimes jungle. I have played in mid and jungle in the past because I've been autofilled and my other junglers have been banned. Great pick if you just want to be like bashing in faces. He's a bruiser of some sort. He doesn't really build lethality that much anymore. He used to be able to build like just full lethality and one-shot people, but you can't do that anymore. You have to build more bruiser items like Trinity Force, Black Cleaver, Steric Gauge, stuff like that. I mainly take him mid lane because he can be dominant in that lane as well as top lane, and he can really just like carry on a team early game. He's really for that early game, and even to the mid game he's strong, so you play him for those 2 points in time in the game. So how do you lane with him? What are your goals in the early game? So you really want to be aggressive. You really just want to be as aggressive as possible, show the laner who's boss, and really show them that you control the mid lane. I mean, you're just basically just gonna be kicking in some face, because no matter who it is or who you're faced up against, you're gonna try to be dominant in the lane. Really just comes down to if you can initiate on them with your W and stuff. If you are having some troubles, however, it can happen when there's a champion you're fighting who's really long range, like Vel'Koz or Xerath or something like that, and you're gonna end up just farming it out. If you really can't do anything in the lane, you're just gonna leave. You're just gonna roam after level 6, get your KP up, get head or get other lanes ahead by impacting the map as much as possible. I haven't really fought any sort of matchup that I haven't been able to fight against or haven't gotten a decent lead on or something like that. It really comes down to if you can be patient enough to wait for the opportunities to go in, or just be patient just to go elsewhere and impact the map. So that's really all it comes down to, is just like, I think the only real difficult matchup I've had in mid lane has been like Echo. Echo can be hard. Oh, and Fizz. So these champions can be hard because they can get past your shield. That's about it. Any champion, there you go. Any champion that get past your E, which we'll talk about later, it's gonna be difficult. But you can get around that, and there's plenty of ways. If you practice him enough, you can kind of tell what they're going to do. Just like practice him enough and you'll know when to use your shields and stuff like that against those champions. Let's get into his build path. The first thing you're going to do is buy a corrupting pot. Straight up, just buy the corrupting pot. Catch-all item. Everyone builds it because, well, if they don't have sustain in the lane, they're gonna build a corrupting pot, especially if they're gonna be trading a lot and stuff. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be really trading a whole lot. You want the mana sustain, you want the health sustain, and you want to do the extra little bit of damage the corrupting pot does. It's a big deal in the early game when no one has resistance and not a lot of health, so that corrupting pot can really tick up and do a lot of damage. You're gonna go for Youmuu's most likely as your first big item. Once you get into the mid game and finally you're building into your second item or even your third item, you're gonna be building most likely Trinity Force or Black Cleaver. And the way you discern which one you're going to build is, well, how well are you playing? It really comes down to how well you're doing with farming and your kill participation. If you're doing poorly, well, you're gonna build the Black Cleaver because it's cheaper than Trinity Force. It still gives you decent combat stats, and that's what you just need. You just need combat stats for the mid game, because otherwise you're just gonna be left behind, because Pantheon doesn't scale super well. He really relies on items to keep him in the game and keep him relevant, because it doesn't scale super well into the late game. If you are doing well and you are farming well and participating a lot in fights and other things going on, then buy Trinity Force. By all means, buy it. They go straight for it because it gives you everything that you need. It just gives you so much damage and so much combatness. New word, combatness. It brings you up from down here to all the way up here, because you're going to be proccing Sheen a bunch. It gives you attack damage, attack speed, mana, cooldown reduction. It gives you everything that you need. So it's a good item to build as your second item. After that, it'll be kind of like up to you whether you if you need like more magic resists. You probably build some defensive items after that. I really love Dead Man's Plate. It's one of my favorite tank items to build, especially in Pantheon, who's just trying to chase him down, just be like running. I freaking love how he runs when you have Dead Man's Plate. You have Dead Man's Plate, Yobu's Ghost Plate to your boots. You're just like, you're chugging. You're just going, oh yeah, I'm after that booty. So his runes. What do you bring out of runes? Conqueror. Woo, Conqueror. It's so interesting. Much interest in runes. Oh gosh. Yeah, Conqueror is what you're gonna bring because guess what? You're really good at stacking Conqueror stacks. It gives you attack damage and healing. As far as other runes, you can bring Triumph, Alacrity, not Alacrity, Triumph, Tenacity, Coup de Grace. And you can bring Domination. I bring Sudden Impact and Ravenous Hunter for more healing. You can do some other stuff. You want to do like Cheap Shot or something. But for his abilities, we're going to start with his passive. His passive is called Mortal Will. Basically, once you start the game, you'll see that there's little red bars underneath Pantheon's health. Those red bars indicate the amount of stacks that you have of your passive. And basically, all it does is that once you have 5 stacks, your abilities, your basic abilities, that is, have extra effects. And that's it. That's all it does. On to the next one. Your Q is called Comet Spear. Now, there's a few different parts to this ability. I'll just go over generally what it does. You can either hurl or stab with the spear, and that requires you 2 different things. The spear, when you hit with it, it will deal damage and execute, or it critically strikes at low health. So if you're hitting someone at low health, it'll critically strike, dealing a bunch more damage, and kind of basically executing them. The difference with hurling the spear and stabbing with the spear is that the hurling does technically less damage if you're hitting multiple targets. So if you hurl the spear at someone, it does full damage to the first thing that it hits, and then subsequently after that, everything it hits is 50% reduced damage. So hurling the spear isn't always the best option unless you have a direct line of sight of the person, nothing in the way, and you can hit them straight on. Perfect. However, it goes on full cooldown, and you may possibly hit something else, so you're doing overall less damage. Stabbing with the spear, however, means you just like tap the Q really quickly, you won't charge it up. It stabs for full damage, everything that hits through, and it also, both versions of these critically strike at low health. Additionally, with Mortal Will, if you have full stacks of it, both the hurling and the stabbing will do extra damage and slow them for a bit. So the slow level, increases with level as well. So it's a pretty good ability. It's great for farming if you're having a hard time in lane, like I said, because you can hit the minions that are low health with it. The stabbing attack is actually decently long range. It's a bit longer than Yasuo's Q, so we can actually have some range to like give you some distance. On top of the benefits of stabbing versus hurling, I totally forgot. The stabbing actually reduces the cooldown by 50%. So if you stab something, if you stab in general, it's just gonna have a 50% reduced cooldown. His W is called Shield Vault, and you just jump on someone and hit them with your shield. That's it. It stuns them. If you have Mortal Will passive, it's going to do 3 quick auto attacks after you land the ability, which apply on hit effects. So that's why Trinity Force is great, because, well, you're gonna proc the Sheen proc as soon as you use the ability, and you're gonna get a bunch of damage off. So additionally, this is why you bring Conqueror. So the reason that Conqueror is so good on Pantheon is because, well, your 3 auto attacks really stack up really quickly. So if you don't really know what Conqueror does, the difference between range and melee is that on a ranged champion, if you hit with an auto attack, you're only gonna stack 1 stack, and it's only gonna stack every, I think, 6 or 8 seconds, I think. If you're on a melee champion, you auto attack, then you actually stack 2 stacks, but every auto attack, and every spell as well. Spells themselves also stack 2 stacks. So your W, the actual just shield stun, is 1 stack, a pair of stacks, so 2, and then 3 auto attacks, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 stacks right off the bat. So you have 8 stacks. So whatever you do next, whether it's an auto attack or a Q or an E, it's gonna give you full stacks of Conqueror. So immediately you have Conqueror up, and that gives you a huge amount of like damage, like laning power, because if you're going level 2 on someone with a stacked W, you're gonna have Conqueror straight up, and as soon as you're out of the animation, they're not stunned, you're just gonna go ham on them and out damage them entirely. Pretty much anyone who tries to fight me level 2, exceptions for some champions, especially if you can't reach them at all. Like Silas, if Silas tries to tussle with you at level 2, he's in for a hurt because you're just gonna be like, well, he's gonna be at like maybe 4 stacks if you can dodge some of his abilities. You're gonna be at 10 stacks like instantly, and you're just gonna freaking burn the shit out of him. But yeah, W is great, and that's one reason why Conqueror is really good on him. Aside from the fact that, well, it's really easy to stack, and it gives you a lot of combat stats. So there you go. If you need any reason to use Conqueror and not anything else, there you go. Your E is called Aegis Assault. You just put up your shield and you stab a bunch. Anything that comes into you, any damage that hits you from the front is nullified. You're invulnerable from that direction, but from behind you're vulnerable. So just be careful about fighting champions that are like go through you and stuff like that, like Echo and Fizz. They can dash through you or try to dash through you and do more damage to you, and you can't really harder retaliate to them because you're just sitting there stabbing a bunch. But after the stabbing, for the full duration, or if you end the ability early, you do a little like thrust of the shield, sends out a shockwave, deals some extra damage. If the empowered version of the ability basically just extends the duration of the shield portion and increases the damage by a little bit. The one thing you do need to know about the ability is that your movement speed in different directions is different. So if you're moving forward, wherever you're facing the shield, you will go at normal speed. But if you're going backwards, you will move at a significantly slower speed. Or I think even laterally as well, side to side, you move a little bit slower. So moving backwards, definitely, it can be used as a defensive ability to retreat, but you are retreating very slowly. So just be aware of that when you're using the ability as some sort of like escape or something to defend against, like damage or something. Just be aware that you move slowly, more slowly moving backwards. And then your ultimate, Grand Starfall. The reason everyone plays Pantheon, aside from stabbing, is that he has a really fun ultimate. It's super fun. It's a great ultimate. I mean, if you ever played him before his rework, he did the whole like kaboom, he just like landed on top of it. This time he just slides in freaking into your DMs being like, I'm gonna stab me some bitches. But yeah, you basically have a huge range on the ult, and it can get you places really far. You basically slide in, do some magic damage, and you're ready to go, and that's it. The weird thing about the ultimate is that if you don't have full stacks of your passive, Mortal Will, it'll actually give you all 5 stacks once you land. So you're just ready to just wail on someone as soon as you get there. And yeah, that's it. That's all of his abilities. That's Pantheon. I hope you got something out of it. Let me know down in the comments if you want to play Pantheon after watching this video, or if you've been playing Pantheon. If you have, why do you like playing him? I personally like playing him because I just love I love the character, Atreus. I love the themes. You know, it's very obviously he's very like Greek mythologically designed, like spear, like very like 300 like Spartan kind of deal, obviously. But yeah, anyway, tell me what you like about Pantheon. If you want to play him now, leave it down in the comments down below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, well, there's a button for that as well. It won't make me sad. If you want to watch more of my stuff, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notifications on when I upload a video. God damn it, I always mess up that part. God damn it, hit the damn bell button so you get notifications. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.